Don't shoot the messenger.
Welcome back to another episode of Don't Shoot the Messenger. As always, I am Chris Dickens with my co-host
Jinx. Just Jinx. Nothing else.
Just Jinx. You cannot say your name.
Never, ever.
That's
just
part
Jinx.
of the conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. The conspiracy.
And I want to let everybody know that Jinx admitted to me before this episode she's a reptile.
I don't think so.
You did? I heard it with my own
He's hearing
ears.
things, people, just like he hears all these conspiracy theories.
You know what?
Just everything you hear is not always fact.
I heard it with my eyes and I saw it with my ears.
You can't believe everything you hear or everything you see.
I believe in everything.
Do you believe everything you hear more than what you see, or more what you see than what you hear?
I'm a skeptic. I don't know. That's about it.
I'm beginning to get the impression you just believe whatever crazy thing somebody tells you.
Not always.
Not always.
Not always. I do a lot of research on my own, okay? I do a lot of research. And as always, though...
How do you do research on the reptilian race when there aren't a lot of facts because they hide everything?
There's facts.
So how do you do research?
There's facts, okay? There's facts. It's what I take as fact.
Exactly.
So...
You fit well in the White House right now, basically, is what you're telling me.
I do not believe in we've gone over this. Don't you start with this alternative facts stuff with me.
I didn't use that term.
Yeah. But we are back in with the Reptilian Elite, episode 2, which we talked about it and we decided this is just going to be kind of an ongoing thing. It's not going to be every week. So to have those listeners being like, oh my God, this again.
But we did promise you guys a second episode relatively close to that first one. So that's why we're doing this so close to that first one.
And when we figure out, like, hey, we're bored, let's talk some more reptiles.
Mm-hmm. When we get some more information or some random stuff.
I have all the information.
Random information. All right. So what do you have for us today, Chris?
So they have a blood type.
Okay, which blood type is reptilian?
RH and RH negative.
I've got a question for reptiles. The Reptilian Elite, do they need sunlight and everything to get energy?
No.
Just like other reptiles?
They eat people, as I say to this, and it's normally children because they are pure. Because they poison our air, our food, our water. So
they have to eat the kids before they're too contaminated.
Exactly.
Okay. So they're the people responsible behind Twinkies. That's what you're saying?
Sure. If you want to believe that, I will believe you for believing that.
Okay.
That was a paradox right there.
Yes.
No. We're going to talk a little bit more of this because they have their own blood type. It's an extremely rare blood type, on RH and RH negative, that is almost like never found in humans.
Okay. So do we have proof that like the Bush family or that they have this blood type?
Why would we have proof of that? They're going to keep that hidden, as you stated earlier.
Well, then how do you know that that's the blood type of the Reptilian Elite if they would hide that
because
stuff?
Ick said so.
Because Ick said so. Going back to David Ick, of course,
yes,
the
David
person who got the messages subliminally or whatever about the Reptilian Elite in the first place and spread the message and the word or however you want to phrase that.
Yes. And we're going to actually kind of go...
Reptilian Jesus?
Keep your Bible stuff out of this. I know you religious type, Jinx.
That so fits me.
Super uber religious lady that walks around.
Yes.
Sitting over there in your floor-length skirt and your white button-up shirt and black tie and Bible sitting over there next to your phone.
Yes, everybody's going to...
She's really Amish.
Picturing it. Totally, and that's
okay.
why I'm here
Back
on electronic device. Oh my gosh, we are so all over the place today.
So they have their own blood type. They eat children. So on stuff I went over last.
Okay.
They have a moon base.
You were mentioning that briefly, touched on that in the last episode.
So this has actually been documented by astronauts that when they landed on the moon,
okay,
that it vibrated for a serious amount of time when they took a first step. Like almost it was hollow and ringing. Instead
of it being a big chunk of the earth is
what
most
people thought it was another planet.
Scientists believe it's
big chunk of the earth, so on and so forth. Astronauts have actually came out and said that it was hollow when they landed on it and they stepped on it. It would ring and vibrate. So conspiracy theorists or scientists, as myself,
you consider yourself a scientist of
the conspiracy arts.
Okay.
I've come to believe that it's actually a spaceship / base,
like a satellite of going around the Earth, but not because stone satellite. But
here's the thing: dark side of the moon makes no sense.
Sure it does, because where else would Paul McCartney and Elvis be right now?
Yeah, well, they're living with the Reptilian Elite.
I think we
I'm just saying,
established
it's
this. Okay.
more of a camouflage than it is the moon turned and we got a new moon. No, they turn on camouflage. Stick with me. I see you there.
Yeah.
I see you there. So between 1972 and 1977, seismometers.
Mm-hmm.
Sesameters?
It's a hard word to say.
Seismometers.
Just like shabby suits,
Seismic meters.
no shoes.
Shabby shoes, no shoes.
There you go.
Seismic meters installed on the moon by the Apollo missions recorded moonquakes. The moon was described as ringing like a bell during some of those quakes.
Do they have audio of this?
NASA does. I
They
doubt
don't
it's been,
release
I
it
doubt
to
it's
me.
been released
Then how do you know it exists?
because this was
In the report
in a report.
by NASA.
That was probably released that they didn't probably use the big black marker that goes across every report that
Redacted,
NASA's
yes. Mm-hmm.
redacted. Don't you call me a pterodactyl.
All right.
So it is supposedly it was first brought up by Michael Vassin
Vaseline.
in
Not to be
1970
confused with Vaseline.
and Alexander Shcherbakov.
Just fun names to say.
Yes, they were from the Soviet Academy of Sciences, and they had advanced thesis that the moon is a spaceship created by unknown beings. This is before
David Icks.
David Icks' Reptilian
Okay.
Elite, and the hypothesis relies heavily on the suggestion that the large lunar craters, which are generally to be assumed as
Were meteors.
Were
hit the moon.
meteors.
Uh-huh.
and are generally too shallow to have flat or even convex bottoms, are hypothesized that small meters, so on and so forth, were hitting them and making dents into the spaceship rather than rocks blowing up into the earth of the moon.
The Earth of the Moon.
The surface
of the moon. Yes.
I don't know why I put myself through this every week.
Because you like to be heard. That's
I do
why.
like to be heard, and you're
That's-
not that bad.
yeah.
You're kind of bad.
I try. Need to work harder.
So my whole thing is I believe that because the whole genesis of the Reptilian Elite, if you will, like there, yes,
Yes.
is that there's two sides to it. You either believe they have been here, they left and they came back, or they just showed up.
Okay. So they're still. So they either came here and then left and came back.
Yes,
is what
when
you're
we all
saying?
came
So
out of the life goo.
the life goo.
You know what I'm talking
Formerly,
about.
now known as the ocean. What?
No.
The life goo.
The life goo. Because isn't there the theory that there was a big pot of goo or something like that like the first living creatures came out of?
No, I've not heard that
There's
theory.
something like that. It's not widely accepted.
No.
I don't accept it.
It's a fun way to think of life forms coming out of a big pile of goo, but where did the goo come from?
from
Another life form that dropped,
from the reverse bang.
left some friends at the
Because
toilet.
everyone thinks it's a big bang. It was the reverse bang.
the reverse bang.
Yes, the big
Okay.
bang has happened like 17 times.
Have you read the books? What is the Thursday Next novels?
No,
Okay, it's sorry, tangent. But
tangent.
it has to do with the goo because it comes to the end of the world and
Yeah.
everything turns into a pink goo and then everything comes back to life. Like
Okay.
life comes back from the pink goo.
Immortal ooze.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
And-
I thought of it. All right,
Uh-huh.
the immortal ooze. So we
Okay.
all came out of the immortal ooze, which I don't.
Yeah.
But with the evolution of time, because since dinosaurs are thought to be lizards or birds or whatever,
Mhm.
they were thought that dinosaurs mutated into smarter beings after the meteor crashed.
Instead of dying off.
Instead of dying off, kind of more of like a superhero type deal,
Mm-hmm.
where but these people are not superheroes. Don't ever think that.
No.
I shifty-eyed there.
So the smaller dinosaurs that could burrow into the earth that
Yes.
survived the meteor
Yes.
crash got superpowers
No-
from the meteor.
Not superpowers, but evolved into
Into-
more advanced
Which-
beings.
If you think about it, how advanced has humanity gotten over the past, tens of thousands of years that
Yeah.
humans have been around compared to the millions of years dinosaurs were around?
And dinosaurs were around millions of years before humans were even
Yes.
about. So the fact that they were walking about and had their own race, and then humans kind of started evolving, which
Mm-hmm.
there's also, so it's either also the fact that either were watching us evolve or they manipulated us to evolve.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot. It's like so either we're a weird science experiment for them, or they watched us and decided they want to dominate us.
All right. Yeah. Were they that bored? They just wanted
Well, yeah,
to
I
say
mean, you never know.
Mhm.
You never know. When you get bored, do you mess around with stuff? Like if you're
I was like thinking humans with their science experiments on lab rats and stuff all the time.
Exactly. You get bored and you want to, but this was more of a domination type of thing where they wanted to take over the earth.
Couldn't they just take over the earth if they're smarter
but
beings
they wanted
in general?
So I believe in they were here, they left, and they came back. So
So the humans had spread out and
and they found another planet to occupy, but they needed slaves.
So if they need slaves,
so they were the beginning of slavery as well.
Okay, to build things like the pyramids.
Yes.
Okay. So how did all right, wait, I was going to say, how did they infiltrate and get into these powers of position where they'd be able to do that? But I think that goes into their disguises.
They can alter light, the unseen light. We have a spectrum of light we can see, which is the UV rays, but they can alter outside of the UV rays.
To make you see what they want you to see.
Yes, make you see and feel what you want to feel, because then they also have brainwave powers.
Of course.
Telekinesis and psychosis.
I think you've read one too many comic books. But where did these ideas come for comic books anyways? So
exactly. You write what you know. That's what I tell everyone. Can't say the Bible never happened. People write what they know.
Stories that have been passed down from generation to generation.
Maybe they're a little exaggerated, but
as word of mouth, things get changed.
You never know. I love the Family Guy thing with Jesus. Do you ever see that one?
No.
I'll show you that later.
Okay.
It's him doing a magic trick. It's pretty funny. So now they are. I stated in the last episode, within the next year, NASA will release that we've been in contact with alien life forms, and their whole big plan is that we are going to begin a war with alien life forms. They said that in quotations. Okay. They're going to come out as hostile beings, and they're going to control us more by fear.
Why is NASA all of a sudden going to come out with all this information?
Because we're run by the reptilians.
So the reptilians want it to come out within the next year? Yes, they want it
to come out within the next year.
So if it doesn't come out within the next year...
I'm an idiot. It's okay. I have
all
no
I'm saying,
problem.
does that mean that they don't really exist and that's all...
No, this is my...
They just changed their plans?
This is my personal belief.
Okay.
Okay? Within the next year, this is after a lot of the reading.
All right, mark the date, people. Within the next year. So next 4th of July.
By the next 4th of July, we will have known that aliens exist. We'll have factual proof released by the government.
Okay.
Okay? And we're going to start...
Specifically Reptilian Elite aliens, not just any aliens or life forms on other planets.
They're not going to let the Reptilian Elite be known.
Just
more so the Greys.
Okay.
Your typical alien. So, quote unquote, we will start a war with extraterrestrial beings, and...
Poor E.T.
And that will be used then as a way to control us and get us ready to be shipped over to their said new planet to begin slavery.
So instead of taking over this planet, they're going to transport human beings to this other planet. And how come we haven't been able to see any signs of their spaceships or anything like that up to this point? Because they haven't wanted us to?
Once again, how come every time there's a spaceship sighting, it's always denied? Is it not?
Yeah, but that's within the atmosphere of the Earth. I'm talking about outside, like caught in the Hubble telescope.
Do you have a satellite hanging out there?
No.
Okay.
But NASA does. But NASA's trying to hide it. Okay. You're starting to remind me of my dad.
You're making me points. You're making my points here. You're making my points.
I'm not making your points. I'm just thinking like you now, which is really scary.
That's going to be scary.
My dad...
We're going to go down the rabbit hole here.
Oh my gosh. My dad took a picture of the sun. And then he took another picture through his glasses and showed these pictures to me. And he says, look you can only see it through the lens of my glasses, but there's a second sun behind the sun. If you see, it's like hiding back there, and it's another star moving closer to the Earth, and it's going to implode with our solar system soon. And I'm like, that's not how stars move.
That's a reflection,
like,
but that's okay.
Oh my gosh. Yes. People.
See, I'm not telling you stuff like that.
No.
But our time has run short.
Yes,
a very long Chris rant on reptiles that we will have again, not next time. Well, who knows what we'll do next time?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. We'll have to find something, and I'm thinking let's step away from Reptile Elite.
Let's step away from Reptilian Elite.
Something. We'll think about this.
Let's do a celebrity one.
Celebrity one. Okay.
We'll find a celebrity conspiracy, or hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit Jinx.
Yep.
She mentioned it before, so go back to previous episodes and listen because she's not saying her name.
Say hi, the number 2, jinx@gmail.com.
Okay.
There we go.
That.
Say hi to Jinx, yes.
C Dickens88. Hit me up on Twitter. Jinx doesn't do Twitter.
And if you want to try, it's @Jinx Scott. I can't guarantee.
Don't say her name.
We'll edit that out.
As always, we're just the messengers. Don't shoot us.
We'll be back next week.